of our most frequently asked questions so we can address, the questions and hopefully help you before you make your decision. So our first question today is, what is JobStream AI? So of course, great question.
Yep, great question. Jess and I actually cover this at length in a 35-minute video that we'll send you directly if you're interested. Check out our YouTube video, just type in JobStream AI, and you will find a 35-minute video. It's our very first video together as co-founders, and we talk in great detail about every single service that we offer. To give you the quickest summarization, it's a full-on scalable process that has been turned into a strategic machine, right? That gets you where you want to go, gets you the jobs that you've always dreamed of, and even helps you run a consulting business, which we'll talk about in another video.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's super concise. And we'll move on to the next one. So the next question we get a lot is this a service only for a particular group of people?
It's a great question. So certainly it is a service that is a premium service, right? We do offer really, really in-depth professional insights into what you can be doing to improve your job search. We actually get involved directly at times with certain of our clients and basically take control of their entire outreach, right? So that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work that we do. So for people that are interested in investing in themselves and in getting help, we can help any of those types of people. There really isn't anybody that we can't help. But particularly, we work with mostly growth consulting professionals, mostly like sales, marketing. We have worked with some tech people as well as some finance people. But generally speaking, this service is for anybody who is able to invest in themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I would say it's for more office related jobs. Like, we don't usually help people get restaurant jobs or retail jobs. It's really for people that want to work in an office setting, or, like we said, build their own consulting business. So we can help with all of that.
Absolutely.
And then our next question is, how does it work? So also a great question. Also one we covered in the video, in our other video, but.
Yeah, I'd hate to be the guy that says, hey, just go ahead and watch this other video when we're creating a video about, like frequently asked questions. But it is true, like you can get all that information from the video. I'll give you a quick summarization. How it works is we maintain constant contact with our clients. We work through email, we work through phone, we communicate through LinkedIn. We provide round-the-clock support. Now, granted, if you're in the UK and you're up at crazy hours of the night and we're asleep, you may have to wait a few hours so that way we can wake up and address your needs. But generally speaking, the way it works is that you're in constant contact with us and we give you guidance throughout the entire process. You're never going to be left an orphan, so to speak, in terms of you're never going to be alone. You're never going to be like, oh, I don't know what to do and I don't have anyone to guide me. No. We take our services very seriously, and every single person that has a question, we are able to address those questions and give them the proper guidance.
Exactly. And what we do, like briefly, is just we use marketing tactics that have helped businesses, but we apply them to the individual to help them find jobs. And we use automation and AI and all these cool things to make the job search just so much easier, so much faster, so much less painful. And that's really the point of what we're doing and how it works.
Yep. Sparing you pain. That's really kind of like the biggest benefit there.
Exactly. That's definitely my goal in this. And then the next question we get a lot is, do you guarantee it will help me find a job?
This is a great question, and this is probably our most frequently asked question, right, Jess?
Yeah.
I would say that the answer to this is quite simple. We guarantee to work with you in an honest and integral way, right? We don't want to be dishonest. We don't want to give you false promises. And I believe that that's what we would be doing if we guaranteed somebody that they would get a job, because not everybody's the same, right? And we cannot guarantee or make somebody else love you or hire you, right? All we can do is put you in the best position possible. And so we guarantee to do that. And that's really all we can guarantee to do if we want to be ethical.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree that we guarantee what we can control. So we know that, we're going to show up to the meetings, we're going to set up your automations, we're going to put in 100% effort on our content, on our, on our systems and processes. And as long as you show up and put in the work, there's no reason you shouldn't get a job, but we cannot control your actions on that side. So we can't guarantee that. But anything that's in our control, we guarantee.
Perfect answer.
Yeah. And our next question, how long do the services tend to last?
Yes, another one of those frequently asked ones. The services, generally speaking, we desire them to last 60 to 90 days minimum, right? This means that you're coming in, we get everything set up in that first month, and hopefully by the second month, you're starting to see really serious interviews come through. You're starting to have really great conversations with people that are in companies that you would like to work for. Ideally, before the 90-day period, you already have an offer in your hand and you're working and you're doing your thing, the very thing that you signed up for, right? Now, are there cases where that doesn't happen exactly in the timeline that we're hoping for? Of course, right? That does happen from time to time, but our guarantee and what we do guarantee is that we'll continue to work with you to the fullest of our abilities. We do not, skimp out on the services just because, we're past that 60 to 90-day mark. We continue to do everything that we need to do to get you ready and put you in that position, right? We continue to keep the automations running. We continue to make the cold calls, do all of the things that we would normally do within that time period. So that's our guarantee. We don't leave any person behind. If a person is really struggling and just isn't able to get much traction, doesn't matter. We're going to continue to work through those things and get that person where they want to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect answer. I don't have anything else to add because that was
Yeah.
And then another very frequently asked question is, what does it cost?
Yes, of course. The cost is always going to be dependent on the person, right? We have 3 packages that we advertise online. You can visit us at jobstreamai.com to learn more about those packages. The prices will not be posted online, just as a disclaimer, but they do describe the services that you're getting. And as you can see, there's a gap in between each service. Each service that you pay more for, you're getting all of the services of the previous package added on. Right. So the most premium package that we're offering, it's up there. It's up there in price, and it's always going to depend on to what scale you're wanting to do that. It's more of a personal equation more than anything else. So not something we necessarily reveal on frequently asked question calls, but in a meeting where we talk with you about what's involved, we're certainly happy to go over that.
Yeah, exactly. So it is a premium service, but there's a lot of value behind it. And there's a huge ROI on the prices because we are talking about getting you, 70, 80 to over 6-figure jobs. And we do offer financing as well. So if that is an issue, you can talk to us and we do offer financing and 30-day interest-free financing too.
Yep, that's very important to know, is that for those who are unable to just whip out, premium money, we do have really, really good and advantageous options in terms of shrinking those payments down and making it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, exactly. We really do want to meet with you where you are and help you get the best possible job for the money. So, come talk to us in a meeting and we'll try to make it work with the financing options that we have. And then our next question is, if I need another job, will I have to pay again?
Yes. So let's say, for example, you have somebody that just landed a job. They through us, right? And they paid already, and 25 days into the job, it's a no-go, right? Like the company lets them go. It's a problem, right? So in the case that somebody has been let go within 30 days of their employment, or even within like 60 days of employment, they didn't even make their probation. It's tricky. We don't necessarily demand repayment if something like that happens. If somebody has been employed for longer than 60 to 90-day period, right, they've met that probation criteria, and they've been working in the job for at least a couple months. Usually we will ask that at least, at the very least, there's a partial payment. We don't necessarily believe in doing the full charge again for something so soon. Now, if it's been a year or 2 years, 3 years, we obviously at that point would be like, okay, you've seen our services, what we've done. Obviously in your job, you had success because you were there for a little while. We'd probably do another full payment in that case. But yeah, I think it's going to be case by case. We have the advantage of being a small, lean team that can make decisions based on situations. And we're always going to do what's in the best interest of both parties. So the answer is yes. In some cases, you would have to repay depending on the amount of time. But in some cases, no, we may just decide, you know what, it hasn't, you barely got there. and it's no fault of your own that you're on the street right now, we'll help you out again, right? So yeah, that's how I would answer that question.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think that's super fair. And then, of course, another monetary related question. Are there any refunds?
Yeah, unfortunately, there are no refunds. Refunds are always the result of, us doing a poor job or not following through on what we're supposed to do. In that case, like if we completely drop the ball and don't meet our own criteria of like what we're supposed to do, that's on the table in terms of what's right and what's ethical. Certainly, we want to do that. But in most cases, in fact, all cases that we've worked on so far, we've done what we're supposed to do. We provide a really, really hardcore and amazing service, right? And so that takes time, it takes energy, it takes money to run these services. I personally pay for the data that we use to track down the hidden jobs in the market and to run these automation campaigns and all of this stuff, right? So it does cost, and we both have bills to pay. So certainly we want to do what's in the best interest of the customer, but we also need to make money as well. So if you allow for a refund in every case, pretty much you're going to have everybody requesting one just at their convenience whenever they kind of feel like they want money back, right? And so we have to be very clear and definitive in terms of we don't work for free.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Like, we don't get a refund of our time and effort that we put in, and we guarantee everything that's in our control. So if we are showing up on our end and we're doing all the work that we're supposed to do, it's very unfair to get a refund because of the other person that, because we've had people that have signed up and then they just completely ghost us. And then like 6 months later, they're like, oh, I want a refund. But it's like, a refund for what? Like, you refused to show up to any meetings. You didn't answer any of our emails. You wouldn't take our calls. And now we're supposed to give you your money back. So we really don't want to end up in those type of situations. And that's why we think it's very fair. But like Adonis said, if it's something for some strange reason that's never happened before, our fault, then it is on the table. But if it's not our fault, then no, we're not gonna, get a refund, because like I said, we don't get refunds of our time, and we do have bills to pay, and life is expensive for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah. And, just to kind of top that particular question off, the services that we're providing, regardless of whether you even get employed right away, like let's say it takes a little bit longer, we're basically upgrading the entire image that you have online. Your LinkedIn gets a whole new renovation. Your resume gets a renovation. These are things that eventually do end up helping you in the long run. They improve your image. They help you build a brand online. We're going to do with some of the packages a little bit of social media content, and then we covered this in the longer video. We actually do a video podcast with you if you decide that you want the VIP package. And that video podcast is incredibly valuable, not just in terms of like consulting or like getting more interviews, but like, you'll be able to actually apply for more stuff, especially the stuff that asks you to create videos to explain why you're as good at what you do. That video is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of energy and really come forth as like a creative way of expressing yourself. So that'll definitely be something you're excited about, and we're excited about for you in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. And then those are yours forever to keep and reuse. So, you'll get that. And that's great. And actually, that really leads into our next question on how fast, on average, do you land people jobs?
Yeah, so our timeline and time frame of when we look to do these things is 60 to 90 days. And I would say that that's been the timeline that we've been able to hit in terms of personal clients and people that we've worked with. I've worked with everybody from like directors and, VP level sales executives to engineers to accounting people. There's a bunch of different people that I've been able to help using this process. Very recently, a director of IT that we placed using the same type of a system. So yeah, that's our general timeline, is that 60 to 90 day period. That's really kind of the hot spot or the sweet spot, if you will, where we see a lot of people start to get those offers and really capitalize on the marketing that we've done.
Yeah, and that's very fair. I think that's way faster than the average person is going to get a job just applying and praying. So 60 to 90 days is ideal for everyone. And then our final question and most exciting question is, how do I get started?
Yeah, I mean, the way you get started is You get in touch with Jess and I. It's very easy to do. You can reach out to us through jobstreamai.com. You can always, basically reply to email messages that you might receive, or find us on LinkedIn. My name is Adonis McReynolds Jr. You'll find me on there. Jess has her LinkedIn as well. And we're both pretty diligent in terms of reaching out to people. So if you're watching this video to begin with, it's probably because you've talked with one of us. So get in touch with us, re-engage. Let's get the ball rolling. We're excited to launch you to the moon and get your consulting business up to speed, or your full-time job search, whatever it is that you're looking for. We're happy to get you started.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly that. Visit us at jobstreamai.com. Email us at jobs@jobstreamai.com. Find us on LinkedIn, and we're really excited. So thanks so much for watching.
Take care.